Welcome to today's vlog. I accidentally plugged the wrong cable into my camera's mic and so my voice didn't get recorded, but I promise you I'll get better at this. In this vlog, I thought I'd walk you through a busy couple of days in my life at the time of recording this vlog. I was a full-time content creator transitioning to a freelancing position as a marketer. I was making a carrot cake on this day, and so I thought it would be really great to show you how I set it up and work on the recipes and then edit them behind the scenes, so to speak. Working as a content creator full time was never the plan. I always wanted to move towards a higher skilled job eventually, as baking and cooking creatively is more of a therapy to me and something that I do when I want to unwind. When I tried to make it my full time gig, it was very enjoyable at first, but eventually it became a task that I had to tick off my to do list. I was working round the clock as I had to churn out multiple pieces of content every single week on my own, which was physically and mentally exhausting. Just as I was ready to take a little break, I had another recipe to plan, film, edit, upload, and then do all of it all over again. And then to top it off, I was also selling digital courses where I taught some really cool techniques to my students, and I loved it. These are some of the best courses that my students had ever consumed, and they loved it so much. And that made me so incredibly happy and content. But handling the back end systems and customer support took a serious toll on my mental health, and I didn't have enough resources to hire help. And whilst 99% of the people were the most amazing, kind, and beautiful humans, there's always that 1% that is obnoxiously rude, arrogant, and unkind. They would leave misleading comments on my posts, and I found myself constantly being hyper vigilant and checking my social media obsessively to ensure all queries are answered, all trolls are dealt with, so much so that I couldn't even give myself a break on Sundays. I was always on. And I am a textbook people pleaser and an overthinker, so that did not help things as well. It was exhausting, and I found myself losing the joy that I used to experience when I was baking or cooking. Suddenly, the thought of wanting to bake or cook or work filled me with so much dread. In the upcoming vlogs, I am so super excited to document everything I'm doing to deal with this burnout. Spoiler alert, a lot of it is cooking and baking because that's everything to me. New recipes for fun and because I enjoy it and not for anything else. I'm also learning new skills and filling my time with exciting hobbies I enjoyed as a child instead of mindlessly scrolling. Again, since this was the same day, I was using the same cable for the mic, which I realized after I was done baking for the day. It takes roughly 30 minutes for the cake to bake and another hour or so for it to cool completely. That gives me roughly 90 minutes to do some focused work and get the edits on an earlier video I was working on. Ideally, it takes me roughly 6 to 7 hours to bake one single recipe and then another 6 to 7 hours to edit and upload the video. So let's get cracking and let's get to work. Good morning. It's Wednesday today, and the plan originally was to make blueberry muffins for my main channel, but I ran into some issues, especially with space. I have a lot of content that I've already filmed. I have about 5 recipes and the vlog footages that I have filmed, and that's a lot of content. And I tried transferring a few in here, but I'm really having space issues. I can't film anymore because I've run out of space on my SD cards, and I can't transfer them to the hard drives because I've lost space there as well, which means I first need to do a heavy duty editing session to be done with those recipes so I can delete those files and make space. So, change of plans. Today, I am going to be spending the rest of the day just editing as many recipes as I can. I'm almost done with this one. It's the orange pound cake video that I'm working on. I should be able to export the video in about 30 minutes, and then I can delete all the raw files for this and then move on to the next one, which is the carrot cake that I want to edit first before going back to the earlier ones, because I want to post that before Easter. That's the plan. So it's a lot of work, but we're going to get it done. I want to spend the rest of today doing that. So it's going to be a little bit monotonous. There's nothing exciting happening today except for just editing everything. And so, yeah, I want you to join me today, even if it's a little boring. My veggies are all ready to go in the oven, so I'm going to roast these now. I just love how simple this is. I mean, once you roast these veggies, there's literally nothing else you have to do. You just have to pop them in the oven. The oven does the work for you, and then you blitz it into a puree, and the blender does the work for you. Look at that. Oh, that is so good.